Wednesday the 3rd of June, 9:30 update. This is SkySight looking at Thursday. No stars there. And it's blowing a gale in a broadly westerly direction, becoming west-southwest. On UKV it's showing strong winds but from the south. It's unusual that they are 90 degrees out, the wind forecasts. And RASP is showing blown out westerly as well. Star rating for Friday at 1 p.m, not particularly promising. UKV's thermal forecast shows a lot of cloud and spread out across the country. But the RASP stars are a mix of 4 and 5 stars. Surface winds at 11 looks mostly blown out across the country. On UKV it looks blown out north of the M62 and then top end in the remainder of England and Wales. I'd say the RASP wind is top end marginal. SkySight Saturday at 11, it looks blown out, and UKV concurs that it's blown out and it's broadly southerly, and RASP agrees that it's blown out pretty much everywhere. SkySight for Sunday, that's blown out as well. UKV agrees with that. RASP makes it 3. On Monday the winds have eased a little bit. That looks top end or blown out westerly on RASP. And it's showing a reasonable air mass, 4 and 5 stars. Next Tuesday you've got 4 and 5 stars in the Peak District and east of. But the wind is still strong. That's definitely on the boundary between top end and blown out. So the only model that was offering us any hope the next week was RASP for Friday. And it thinks there's a good air mass over large parts of the country. This is surface 2 metre winds, and that is top end launchable conditions. Zooming in. It may be possible. We'll have to look at that in some more detail. So the sky looks active from 10 in the morning. And then as we step through, it's good on your downwind track, because you'll be tracking from the west to the east, finding some route there. Now is that speckle beginning to show rain? There are some rain showers forecast to be building. In fact, they start as isolated showers at 1 and then they're kicking off and getting a bit bigger. But there is a patch of clear Cambridgeshire and east of that. Seems to avoid the showers. So in that wind direction, broadly westerly, looking at the airspace, you've either got to traverse between the Manchester, Leeds, Bradford airspace to the north and the East Midlands, Birmingham airspace to the south, or that channel going south of the Birmingham airspace and north of the London airspace. Just for the purposes of drawing a line, I've shown the downwind route from Pandy, which doesn't actually take this wind direction. I'll leave you to figure out your own launches. This is the wind view and the GFS wind view, and it is certainly top end strong. The surface wind speeds at Pandy are 20 and above, probably too strong for there, not that you can launch anyway. That line would see you clipping the south edge of the Birmingham airspace. This bottom segment, Daventry CTA 8, is 4,500 feet, so you could traverse underneath that, but it'd be better if you were clear to the south. So if you clear that to the south, your line thereafter sees you pretty clear of most airspaces, a bit of ATZs and MATSs to be dodged, but landing near Cromer on the Norfolk coast. So at 10 in the morning, RASP is showing at 4 stars. Cumulus cloud base of between 4 and 4,500 feet. 2 metre a second climbs, and you're in sunshine. In that same area, SkySight thinks the cloud base will be not quite reaching 4,000 with a thermal strength of 1.5 meters a second. The intensity of these dots indicates how broken the thermals are, and I think this is the principal reason that SkySight is not showing better stars for the day. On UKV at 10 in the morning, you've got scattered cumulus, and it then is forecasting the fill-in to occur after that. By contrast, starting from mid-Wales, the winds are broadly comparable to southeast Wales. For either of them, you've got to have an appetite and a capability to handle those strong winds on launch particularly. Certainly not for the inexperienced.